of dusted in
Yeah,
it.
it's very dusty. That's because it's 50 years old.
There has never been a more important time than right now to get this next generation excited about the internal combustion engine. Within our lifetime, there will be a worldwide debate on whether internal combustion engine cars should be able to be used freely on the roads. But in this video, I'm going to tell you how you watching this right now can influence the outcome of that debate in a positive way. Come on, let's get into it. My name's Ben. Welcome to Dadcars. Hello everybody, so you joined me today driving a 1970 Citroën DS, and we are joined by my good friend James from the Road to Rust YouTube channel.
Hello.
AKA French car lover.
I thought you were going to say something a lot more horrible.
You do have an unhealthy obsession with all things French.
It's not unhealthy. You know, I'm not obsessed with Renaults, for example.
Don't you like my Renault Aventador?
Just the good stuff. I love your Renault Aventador.
So before we get into the topic of today's video, tell us a little bit about this car then, James.
Well, so I have had this car since about February, not too long, but a DS I think is a lot of people's dream cars. It makes up many old man's dream car garages.
Now these are relatively rare now, right?
They are, yeah, there's I think 10 or 15,000 left worldwide.
Yeah.
But yeah, in England, not so many. Technically, this isn't a DS, this is an ID, which is a base version of it.
And this is obviously tax and MOT exempt because
Yes.
it's over 40 years old, right?
Yeah, so nothing to pay on this.
Look, let's talk about the looks of this.
Yeah.
It's insanely cool looking, isn't it?
This is an exceptionally good looking car. This
Like-
is one of, if not the best looking car ever made.
You're not the only person I've heard say that. Look, it's so striking, and seeing something like this floating around on the roads today,
You can go in a fit.
it's a hell of an event, isn't it?
And that's what I love about it, and it makes people smile as well. People are like, oh, my son loves this, and people always ask me, like, can you show me like it rising up and going down? I'm always happy to do it. Whenever you have an old Citroën and people don't talk to you as you walk past, they always go like this. You just see their hand go. They was like, this car rises up. And so yeah, I love it. I love that it makes people's memories come back and gets them talking about old cars.
And that is a perfect segue onto the main topic that I want to sort of cover and talk about in this video, which is, look, these cars being on the road. It's such an event to be able to see them, making memories of people, making people smile and things like that. But I genuinely think that we live in a time right now when, look, already there is a growing opinion among people that internal combustion engine cars, full stop, are just old, polluting, dangerous things for the environment and for other people on the road. You know, cars that don't have driver assisting aids and self-driving technology and things like that. It's a growing thing that I hear, you know, among people, certainly within government and policymakers, but just in the general public in general as well. It's my belief that that's only going to become more and more and more. So my children, for example, my youngest, by the time she comes to learn to drive, if what we hear is true and in 2035 there'll be no more production of internal combustion engine cars, by the time she comes to learn to drive, there won't even be a 5-year-old used internal combustion engine car on the road.
No, well, you make a good point, but aren't they fun? And this is the problem. Now, you did it was a reel a while ago, and it was very popular, wasn't it? Where your daughter said to you, why do you drive this car?
Dad, I got one question.
Oh, yes, sweetie.
Why do you like cars?
Why do I like cars?
Yeah.
I think because they're the ultimate expression of freedom to me. When you first get your driving license and you realise that you can just go and do whatever you want, something that everybody takes for granted now. You know, 'cause it's like turning a tap and water comes out. But it's so incredible, the extension of your freedom that a car gives you. And then sports cars and special cars like this, you know, they're pieces of art that celebrate that special thing, you know, having a car and the extension of your freedom.
I mean, I know you've got daughters, but it's like a rite of passage for men as well. Like your dad goes out, shows you how to change the oil, shows you how to do maintenance on your car. I mean, I might have never really listened to my dad, but I still learned little things from him, and it's like these are things that sort of like prepare you a bit more for adult life and for like the problems that you have come your way. It's not meant to be the case that in the future we go, oh well, it's okay, Timmy, when you grew up, if you have a problem, just press a button and someone will come out and fix everything for you.
And we're coming up to a national speed limit here.
We are.
I'm going to test
Are you trying to do a
if
0 to 60?
if I can get this up to 60 or not, okay? So we try, yeah?
So yeah, obviously we're in kilometres, so you're gonna. Oh, and the line I don't think is actually where it is. So I think it's the line past it, which is where it is. So we're still going.
So we're still trying to get to 60. You tell me when you think we're going to 60.
Yeah.
It's actually surprisingly easy to use the column shifter.
Yeah, I quite like it. So we're nearly at 60, but you're going to have to slow down here because there's a van. So yeah.
Someone pulled out. Yeah, but so going back to what you were saying earlier on, the fact is that my children, by the time they come to learn to drive, everybody will be learning to drive in an EV.
Well, that's what we're told now. Whether it actually materialises, I hope to God it doesn't.
Well,
but
yeah,
if
but
it does, we're in trouble.
If you believe, and so then, therefore, their generation might only drive EVs. Therefore, their generation, more than any ever, this line has been drawn in the sand for the first time in the history of the automotive industry, where they will question even more so than people do already about why are these stinky old cars on the road that aren't as safe and
don't smell so good. And there is a huge number of people that like classic cars, that find enjoyment from driving.
Yeah.
That wake up and go, what shall I drive today? That doesn't, and it's not, well, I just have to do a boring commute to work, so why wouldn't I drive an ID4?
Yeah.
And it's really, really frustrating because why wouldn't you want to drive a stinky, polluting car? They're so much more fun.
Yeah, but look, but here's the thing though. What we need to realise is that, like, for the masses, the masses don't think like us. This is my theory, okay? The reason why classic cars have continued to still get classic car status and why you can still drive classic cars in ULEZ zones and all this sort of stuff is I think that there are people within like the policy making teams who are car enthusiasts, right? Like they grow up and they had memories of their dads having these sorts of cars, but the risk is with us now crossing this line that's in the sand is that if we don't encourage as many of this next generation as possible, there's never been a more important time for the car than this generation that's coming up now, and we need as many of them as possible. And I'm not just talking. Hopefully we can. Some of them now are future policymakers, they're future members of the government and things like that. But also just in society in general, I think we need to have lots of people lots of this next generation who think I went in the wrong gear. But
you can't just go from fifth to second. You've got to go through it. No, you're right, and you've got enough children that you could have a couple as classic car owners and a couple as politicians. So maybe you shouldn't push them all into cars. Just get some into politics.
But honestly, just in society, we need as many of them as possible because this social debate will happen in our lifetime, and it will be whether it's pushed from the angle of environmentally or whether it's pushed from the angle of safety. Because more and more we'll have these cars on the road which are interconnected, and that it will get to the point where they are statistically safer. If we've got more interconnected cars on the road, and then the debate will be, should we still be able to have completely self-driven analog cars that are internal combustion engine that are also polluting the environment? I'm not somebody who likes to just pipe off about moaning about things and speculating and conspiracy theories and things like that. I like to come up with solutions. I'm quite an optimistic person. I like to think that people can have an EV, and then alongside that they can have an internal combustion engine car throughout the rest of our life as well. That's my hope, and that's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Look, here's my idea, my belief on how we can actually make an impact. People watching this right now can make a genuine impact on this whole debate is by sharing these sorts of cars and even modern classics as well. All the cars that I love on this channel, all of them are going to be at threat with this debate at some point. What you need to do is share them with this next generation. It's never been more important, and make memories with them and start building passion with them as well.
As you know, I am not a kid person, but I could not agree more.
Well, literally my whole channel is about buying the most exciting car you can comfortably afford to buy and to run properly, and then using it with your children to make memories, not going and just getting something which is modern and you'll face huge depreciation on. But even if you're in a position right now where you don't have the money, or you've got a long commute or something like that, so you can't buy something that you use day to day with your children that's exciting. The other way that you can do it, and particularly even more so with proper classic cars like this, because I don't think there's anybody daily driving a DS with their children, taking a DS with their children on a school run every day, but that highlights the importance, I think, of attending classic car shows. And the perfect segue with there is that we have been invited, I'm so excited to say this, we have been invited, the Dadcars channel, to host the family section at the NEC Classic Motor Show next month. Now, this is the first time in 40 years, this is their 40th show, that they're going to have a dedicated family section. Right, so I'm so excited about this. So it's on the 8th, 9th and 10th of November. Tickets are available now. I'll put a link in the description below. And if you use promo code DADCARS2, you will actually save money off of a family ticket. They've never done a promo code which works off a family ticket before as well.
But that's
so exciting.
But obviously that's really important, and I love that you have a section there where you can, you know, because obviously kids are bored. Kids can get bored at car shows, especially if they're classics and they don't understand them. But you know, if you start them young and you show them that car shows have actually got an area that can be exciting,
absolutely,
then you hold their engagement longer. And you never know, you might get them in a DS.
Well, yeah, and another exciting thing as well is, and you'll be the perfect sounding board for this.
Right, okay.
Be completely honest, right?
Okay, all right.
Forget the fact that you're on the Dadcars channel, right?
Oh, steady, I don't know if I'll say anything inappropriate.
Be completely honest.
Okay.
How have you historically always felt about, you know, if you took this to a car event and then if there was like a parent there with a child and they looked really interested in it, would you let like children sit in your car and things like that?
I have never, and nor would I ever, refuse a child access to sit in this.
Okay. Well, that's very kind of you.
It's the most comfortable car I ever made. So you've got to sort of like give them the basic things. Obviously they don't know about its mechanics, but it starts to spark. Like anything you can do to start a spark. Yeah. And so no, I've always, if they want to see it like rise up and down or sit in it or whatever, it's fine. At the end of the day, do you know, I watched a video, the Late Break Show, and Johnny went and saw this woman who had a Jaguar XJ220, and she said, I drive it in the rain, and do you know what, if it gets wet, so what, it's a car. And that honestly changed and I was like, it's a car, it's meant to be used, it's meant to be enjoyed, it's meant to be appreciated, and that's not just by me. When you're a classic car owner, you're the custodian of it. I hope this car lives longer than I will, and I can't expect it to do that if I'm gatekeeping it from people.
100%. And this is, I think, like a potential barrier with, you know, people who have historically for years and years and years gone to the NEC Classic Road Show, you know, clubs and things like that.
I've never been.
The older generation, well, you've got to come this year.
I need to go, yeah, I will go this year.
But what the NEC have, what we're doing is we're actually having a Dadcars family-friendly icon, which different exhibitors and car clubs can actually display in their section, so that, you know, parents with children can approach the exhibitors who are child friendly, which is great. Because what I don't want to do as well is...
No, you do get some snotty people that will be like, don't you dare put your hands on my Bugatti.
Yeah.
Even for me now, I want to touch them.
I know. And because everyone's big fear is that children are going to just go over to their Pride and Joy, which they polished up perfectly. They only bring it to the show and they're going to put their hands all over it and stuff like that. But in actual fact, I see far more full-grown adults who are attending car shows by themselves, going over, fondling opening up the cars, you know, and like leaning on them to take pictures and stuff like that. I see far more badly behaved adults
do not
at
lean
car
on
shows.
people's cars.
It's horrible.
It's disrespectful. And as well, if you've got, you know, like Levi jeans with buttons and like badges on the back of them, people have bought classy old cars and you need to treat them in a gentle and respectful way.
No, so I'm really excited. So you're going to be going to the NEC Classic Motor Show as well, right?
Am I?
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're going to be
I'm going to the NEC Classic Motor Show.
And there's also going to be automotive legend Mike Brewer there, and his son's going to be there as well, Auto Alex, so you can come and see them as well. Yeah, so please do click the link in the description below, use the promo code, get your tickets for the NEC Classic Motor Show, because as I say, look, it's never been more important than right now to get this next generation excited about classic cars, about internal combustion engine cars, modern classic cars, all the cars that we show on this channel. So I can't wait to see loads of you there, meet your families as well. So James, you're on the Dadcars channel for the first time.
I am.
You actually helped me get the Avon time and do the drive-bys and everything, but I
yeah.
forgot to say thank you for that in any of my videos.
It's okay.
Oh no. Well, tell you, I
forgive
said thank you when we featured your BX on the channel.
Yeah.
But look, is it fair to say that you're somebody who's got zero interest in having children?
Yeah. No thanks. I've got a life.
And look, personally, right? It's my belief that like people who've genuinely got no interest in having children and then choose not to have children, like I really respect that. I think that's great because it's better than not wanting to become a parent and then doing it just because because you feel obligated. But what I think would be funny though, and you might have noticed that we got a child seat in the back. I managed to get a Swedish Plus tested belt secured child seat safely in the back of this car. But I opted not to drive this with any children in because it's the first time I'm driving this car. Also, when I asked you when it was last safety inspected, you said, why do you need a safety inspector? Because it doesn't need an MOT.
It's French, okay? So you treat it like it's French. You just go, oh, what's safety? It's fine. You'll get to it and you'll drive.
And then also, just before we were just as we were putting the cameras on, your wing mirror just flopped forward like a piece of paper. But what I'd love to see is you trying to explain to my children why this is such an exciting car. So if we cut to the footage now of you trying to build some passion for this car with my young children.
Deal. The fate of the future lies with me. This is the most comfortable car ever made. Do you want to have a sit in it? Okay.
Oh!
It's very blue in there.
Why is it Monkey! Monkey!
They're more interested in the chimp.
Do you like my hat?
I love your hat. Do you think it's a comfy car?
Yeah.
You can spend all day being driven around in that.
Oh, monkey!
Now, this car actually rises all the way up. Do you want to? Yeah.
Goes higher.
Yeah. Would you like to see it go higher?
Yeah. Go higher.
It's going to go higher.
Huh? It's going up. What's happening? It's like, what is going on? What's going on? This is weird. It's the monkey pillow.
And then when you get out, it's all up like that.
Do those monkey pillows come as standard?
They do. They were a Citroën standard thing. They came with the child package, like the Tonale.
How old is this car?
This car is 54 years old. So it was made in 1970.
Look at the wheel!
And yeah?
Wow, that's cool. Me get in the front.
You can get in the front. And then if you want to watch, you can watch it drop back down again.
Yay! Let's watch it. What is the wheel? That went quick.
It goes really quick. And now it's back on the floor again.
Me go back in the front.
You can go back in the front.
This is comfy. Off the dust today.
Yeah, it's very dusty. That's because it's 50 years old.
I think it's worth saying that what I'm not advocating is just a free-for-all of loads of children just climbing around cars at shows and things. That is not the etiquette, obviously.
There's a line to be drawn.
Yes, absolutely. I'm not about that, but when there's an opportunity.
They're having a great time, absolutely terrorising my poor DS.
Wee monkey!
They better end up buying an old car now.
How many times have you been out in this car?
Oh, quite a lot. I've been quite far in it. I don't drive it all the time because it's so old and it costs a lot of money to run. But when you go out in it, it's always a special occasion. So I go out in it a couple of times a month.
Rusty?
It is interesting.
What did
it's
you say?
rusty.
Where did you
Someone drove into it. That wasn't even me.
Oh, the engine. Look at the wheel.
You've got a whole wheel in there.
Why do you need a wheel?
For your spare wheel, in case your one breaks.
Daddy doesn't have a spare wheel.
Wow, the Aston Martin did.
Mummy does.
No.
I like the car.
Yeah.
Do you know what James'
Good.
YouTube channel is called?
What?
Road to Rust.
That's what the monkey should be called.
There you go. Actually, you can be the mascot. Yeah. That's a really good idea.
So all in all, the driving experience of this, I mean, it's definitely something which you have got to
Oh Christ, Ben.
concentrate whilst
Jesus.
you're driving. But Oh, look at that. Look at the cornering ability.
Oh, Dakar Rally, right.
Well, I haven't got any children in the car, so I can take the roundabouts a bit faster.
Oh yeah, so it's fine to crash it. Brilliant, thanks.
There's nothing else like it, is there? And it's my dream one day, once I move house, once the channel's bigger, I want to have a Dadcars fleet, and one of them needs to be a proper classic Dadcar, and I want a Lotus Elan Plus 2.
I thought you were going to say a DS.
No, I don't want a DS.
Oh.
Look, it's amazing. This is a majestic machine, but for me, I've always loved the Lotus Elan Plus 2. I actually prefer the look of the, slightly longer wheelbase, and I've heard from people that they're actually nicer to drive than the two-seaters as well. But so, like I said at the start of this video, there really has never been a more important time for the internal combustion engine, for all of the cars in history that we love, than right now to get this next generation. It's the most important generation. They need to form passion, make memories with these cars, so that when that debate eventually happens, which it will, we've got as many people as possible that are saying, no, look, we need to keep these on the road.
Do you know,
we need to be able to freely drive these without getting completely taxed off the road and making it so that it's only for the elite.
What are we scared of?
I think the big deciding factor will come down to this. There'll be a safety argument, because once all cars are kind of connected with like a hive mind.
I know. How will we be safe from ourselves?
And then what the people will be saying is the statistics will start coming out saying that, oh, most incidents are involving a car which isn't a self-driving technology car and all this sort of stuff. That's what I think will be the biggest debate. But we need as many people in the population that are saying, no, look, these are an important part of our heritage. They are rolling forms of art that are so special to see occasionally on the roads, and they shouldn't be reserved just for the super rich and that sort of thing.
No.
I think that car enthusiasts should be able to freely drive and enjoy these cars, and that's only going to happen if everybody out there makes a conscious effort to get this next generation excited about cars. If you come to the NEC Classic Motor Show and other car events that we do as well, make memories with your children. If you don't have children yourself, any opportunity, whenever you see a family and they're excited about the car, like you said, jump in, take a picture, like that sort of thing, and you driving this car around as well. So
we're heading in a certain direction, and even something as simple as just the car that you drive can be just a little way of just holding on to a bit of a normal life, a life that doesn't have everything within it dictated to you by people that don't even know who you are and what your life's about.
Well, you mentioned that reel on Instagram.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
And the core message in that reel was that for me it's the ultimate expression of freedom.
Yeah.
I want to get into something which doesn't have a computer on it, which is tracking everything I do and then giving me a score on my driving. And then, goodness knows where all of that data is being sent.
But I think by taking a step forward, we are taking a step back. Oh, and you can go over this speed bump, it will feel really nice.
Yeah, let's test the speed bump.
That's way too slow.
Yeah, you literally drive 30 miles an hour and you'll BX.
No, you can hit a speed bump in this at 60.
We'll try going 20 miles an hour over the next one, yeah?
No, you've got to do 30.
No, it's a 20 mile an hour zone. You're on the Dadcars channel.
The Dadcars channel can't see the signs, Ben.
We're all about responsibly
enjoying. Make sure you enjoy your classic cars responsibly.
But thank you all so much for watching. I would love to hear your comments below on today's topic. And also make sure you go and check out James's channel as well, Road to Rust.
Thank you very much.
To see more content on old French cars.
Old rotting cars. Old rotting cars. You're way too safe on these speed bumps, man. You need to.
Yeah, I'm used to driving cars that are really low and got like carbon fibre lips and things.
No, these are designed for slowing down normal cars.
Faster,
yes, yeah, faster.
See, this doesn't feel right to me. Wow, that is so
right, and then hit that one. Go over the middle. Go hit it
like this.
Yeah.
That is actually impressive. That is really quite impressive. If you compare the ride on this to pretty much any modern crossover SUV that's for the mass market, honestly, you'd think it's horrendous. How fidgety and bumpy and crashy they are.
Most Citroens like this, it becomes the benchmark for how you judge comfort in any other car. Give it a wiggle. Feels great.
Oh God, yeah. Kids love it when you do this in the back of the